man. But that thing, it scares me.
He's pulling his cock out! Fear is a primal emotion. There are many different forms of fear which operate at different levels. We have the flight or fight response, a system where our nervous system chooses to attack or flee from a situation upon discovering a threat. We have worry, which is a more mild sense of fear or dread when we perceive a threat to be present, even if it was never present in the first place. And in the depths of all these levels of fear, we find cringe.
Well, I can turn myself into a wolf.
I don't even want to be around anymore.
The internet loves cringe. While many of us perceive it as something to avoid, we tend to find ourselves watching a cringe video, person or animation almost every day. It could be argued that it has a similar draw to it as horror media. No one really likes to be scared, yet horror is a big genre in films and games. This same draw, I believe, is why channels like Rakoon persist in this modern era.
I didn't ask to be torn apart and put back together over and over and turned into some little monster.
His videos are almost hand-picked to induce this cringe feeling. You'll often find furry characters such as Roxanne Wolf from Five Nights at Freddy's and Loona from Helluva, both medias known for their interesting fan bases. You also combine this with music, and not just any music, music that is popular in internet memes and even TikTok, especially TikTok. It's this manufactured cringe feeling this channel's videos induce that utterly baffle me, and furthermore, pique my curiosity. So let's take a look at this channel and see what we can find from it. But to understand something, you need to know its origins. Rocky's first batch of videos are very strange. The first video uploaded to his channel is an intro title card. However, instead of using the Rocky Raccoon character, or anything like that, it uses an edgy Perry the Platypus and the name Sunrise Animation. It could be suggested that this was the original name for the channel. The name also sounds similar to that of what a studio might use, which could also suggest that Rocky was planning on having multiple people help with his animations. But it also kind of reminds me of how some channels would put productions in their name, despite just being a kid with some Mario plushies or something.
Fuck you, Dad.
The next 3 videos he made were all to do with something called The Winx Club, which was a show that began in 2004 on Nickelodeon. The show often had fantasy elements, primarily consisting of fairy characters. These fairy characters are also in Rocky's videos and are shown participating in Sailor Moon-esque transformation animations, most likely animated by Rocky himself. Who knows why he chose the Winx Club of all things? I doubt he's the demographic for it, but to each their own. He also made a string of videos showcasing animation rigs he had made in Toon Boom Harmony, which is the animation software Rocky primarily uses. He doesn't talk in any of these videos, which is fair if he wants to keep his identity a secret, and knowing what he will later create, that's probably for the best. Looking on his Wikitubia page, however, we can start to learn a bit more about him. His name is... I'm sorry, I'm not going to try to pronounce that. I just know I'm just going to fuck that up. He lives in Vietnam and he was born in 2001, making him 22 today. Although the wiki also says 2000, so I don't know. For the most part, these first lots of videos show Rocky's humble beginnings as a creator, and it's almost endearing seeing the dreams he had for the channel with Sunrise Animation. He had a lot of potential and still has today. But then, we start to see the mold develop. Right, so after those types of videos, there was a period where Rocky uploaded animations to do with mainly that one meme with the horse and bird singing. And while those videos are well animated and help to make his channel more popular, that's not what I want to talk about. Instead, I want to talk about this beast of a video. It's a Dame to Casita animation, which last time I checked had died along with Uganda Knuckles in 2018, with characters from All Tomorrows, which is a dark science fiction novel based on humanity evolving into different species in the far future. And to top it all off, the title is trying to entice the people who like the bird and horse animations, but it has nothing to do with them. Like, what?
Who in their right mind would name their game company STD?
The video is just as mindless as you can imagine, with characters dancing, colours blaring, and a constant moving camera, most likely meant to equate to a digital form of jingling keys in front of an iPad kid. And before we move on, I just want to quickly introduce you lovely people to this thing. Just take a good look at it, because this is a surprise tool that will help us later. Anyway, right after that video, Rocky gives us this animation, which, as you can guess, is patient zero for what's to come. This is the first video in which we see one of Rocky's staple characters, Loona from Helluva Boss. And while the video is pretty simple in nature, people ate it up, with this video being nearly at 4 million views, the highest he's ever gotten up till now. This is truly where Walter White became Heisenberg.
What happened?
I won.
Loona would later become a reoccurring character in Rocky's videos, along with some other characters from Helluva Boss. I'm assuming because she paid for Rocky's rent for a month. And with all the popularity he was getting, the only way he could go was up. However, this meant that the mould would grow further. Okay, so now we're in the deep end. This is what I personally believe to be the golden age of Rocky Rakoon's YouTube channel. This is where he was not only using characters from Helluva Boss, but also characters from Poppy Playtime, Animal Crossing, Squid Game, Friday Night Funkin', as well as Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Those last two are very important, believe it or not. Anyway, this was where some of his most interesting videos emerged, as well as his most clickbaity thumbnails. This was the era where his most popular video was created, that being another Loona animation music video. This video has 16 million views. At this point, Rocky, I gotta congratulate you, because with my channel, I probably will never get numbers like that, and I doubt many other channels will, unless you're Dame to Casita, or the Gummy Bear. Why do those videos have so many views? Anyway. However, I believe the culmination of this era was in this video, which depicts Loona fighting Roxanne Wolf from Five Nights at Freddy's. This video is why I believe Rocky handcrafts the cringe in his work, because there are so many layers at play here. Not only has the song been used previously in cringe TikToks, but the animation depicts everything from furries, Nikocado avocado type people, I guess, and fucking twerk. All of this leading up to this.
I am now going to bark at you. Woof woof bark bark. Woof 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 bark bark. Woof 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 bark bark bark. Woof woof bark bark. Woof 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 bark bark. Woof woof woof.
That, along with other videos around this time, I believe, certified Rocky's place in the public eye, and a lot of people disliked him due to this. This infamy may have also been due to the controversies he was involved in around this time. This includes relatively minor but dubious actions such as saying retard, making sexualized versions of minor characters such as Girlfriend from Friday Night Funkin'. And on the Wikitubia page, it says that Rocky made an animation meme that included some YouTubers that were bad people. And also Dream, I guess. He didn't do anything wrong to my knowledge, so I'm not sure why he's lumped in with these other people, but whatever. This animation has presumably since been deleted by Rocky Rakoon, along with some apology videos. Okay, hey, so this is editor me coming in just to say that while I was editing this video, I found out that Rocky Rakoon also had a Fur Affinity account where he drew some very some very wacky things, some very zany things, and yeah, I didn't know about that while I was recording this. So there's like a huge rabbit hole of like controversies that I did not know about. This is not why I'm making this video. I'm making the video just to talk about the content, mainly the channel and just what he does, not necessarily the controversies. But yeah, anyway, presume. Nevertheless, This was where I feel Rocky's channel peaked in popularity, and while we can laugh at him for making these cringe videos and throw tomatoes for his actions, I find it hard to think that Rocky is a genuinely awful person. If anything, I believe that he has a sort of passion for his work still, despite using trendy characters and clearly seeking solely to profit from his videos. A job's a job, and really he's pretty good at what he does. I think he's also completely self-aware, as he can be seen joking around with commenters, as well as creating compilations of people seething at his work, which is definitely interesting to see.
And other social medias, and he draws NSFW.
He would also be seen considering criticism, as YouTubers such as Individual would suggest Rocky to use his array of original characters more, and that he did, which would be seen in his later and most recent videos. Okay, but for real, that minor character shit was weird. And here we are. Modern day Rocky Rakoon. He's outgrown the use of already existing characters and now mainly uses his own selection of characters. And from reading the comments, while there still is resentment towards his videos, it's clear that a lot more people enjoy his content and have even gotten so attached to the original characters that they now know them by name. But who are these characters? Well, we have Rocky himself, the sex appeal, the cat, and this one. Listen. I have a game theory about this one. Remember earlier in the video where I told you to look at this character thing? Well, look, he fucking lives! Yeah, he's got more of an original design now, but I don't doubt that Rocky looked back on his old videos when designing his character, which is cool to see, and may show that he's come to terms with the weird past on the channel. Point is, I think Rocky is in a much more stable and positive place now, mainly focused on creating YouTube shorts using his original characters. And while he doesn't get as many views as he originally did, he's still doing pretty good for himself. So good, in fact, that Rocky is branching out into multiple channels. This being Rocky and Friends, which I'm guessing is just the channel that re-uploads his already existing work for more views and money and rent, and another channel named after one of his characters, which is relatively new, but already looks to be just another re-upload channel. Still though, it's interesting to see the other sides to the Rocky Rakoon cinematic universe, I guess. And also, I'm not sure where I should put this, but we found one. A real one. Remember when I said Rocky rarely talks in his videos? Well, that's still true, but I found video evidence of Rocky Rakoon's voice.
Hi, and welcome to the first Rocky Rakoon Q&A. Let's go! DJ Tango asks, what made you decide to start a YouTube channel and animate? I've always had a passion for cartoons.
I mean, who do you think that is, eh? Ricky Ratface? Rocky Rakoon?
You got me.
These Q&A videos, while showing what this entity of a man sounds like, also gives an insight into Rocky's likes and dislikes, as well as his inspirations. This is where I learned that Rocky's original cast of characters are actually based off of a British sitcom, which could also mean that, yes, we are partly to blame for this. But yeah, in conclusion, Rocky is in a much better place now. No more brain rot, good ending. Well, that was all I could muster for looking into Rocky Rakoon. I know this didn't have any of the funny gameplay moments type content I'm used to making, but nonetheless I hope you enjoyed. If you did, I'd highly recommend you subscribe, as I'll be making content like this in the future. Anyway, that's enough from me. Thank you for watching.